Hello everybody, and welcome to the apiary at Gale Woods. Today we are out here checking our hives, and we are going to add honey supers to the top of the hive so the bees can start bringing in nectar to make honey, hopefully honey for us. These bees were installed. I installed 4 frames of bees in each of our 2 hives about 3 weeks ago, and about a week ago I added the second what we call deep hive body, and that's the area of the hive where the queen will lay eggs and the bees will raise new larvae. And now I'm going to add honey supers, which are smaller frames that go above those for the bees to bring the nectar in, because the flowers are blooming like crazy, our apple trees are blossoming, and the dandelions are in full bloom, and there's a lot of nectar flowing, so it's time to give them a place to put all of that nectar. But before I put those honey supers on top of the hive, I need to check the frames just to make sure everything's going well. And what I want to do is make sure that the queen is still healthy and that she's still laying eggs and that they're raising brood. Because if you have a hive without a queen, you're not going to have a lot of new bees. And from the looks of these hives, they both seem to be doing really well with lots of activity. So I'm assuming that the queen is still in there and that we should see some evidence of her presence. If I look on this one, it looks like they're mostly bringing in nectar. You can see some of the nectar glistening in this hive, in this frame, and some nice yellow pollen that they've brought in. Like I said, I just put this box on last week, so I don't know that the queen has ventured up into this box yet and started laying eggs. She's probably still in the frame down below, so I'm actually going to check this box down below to see if there's evidence of our queen still being healthy and active down below. So we'll take this top box off, and I'm going to try to keep moving pretty slow just to keep those bees nice and calm and not disturb them too much. But we'll take a frame out of the middle of this lower hive body just to see if we can find evidence that our queen is still healthy and happy and laying eggs for us. Ah yes, on this frame you can see all kinds of capped brood. So those light brown sections are places where the larvae have already been capped, which means they're about to turn into adult bees. And if I look more closely in there, I see some smaller larvae, and I see some evidence that, oh yes, there, if I look in the sunshine here, I can actually see some very small larvae, and I see some eggs that queen has been laying, which they look like tiny itty-bitty grains of rice, and I can just barely see them in here. So I am going to assume that our queen is still very healthy and happy, and that these bees are doing just fine. So I'm going to put this frame back in, and I'll put the second box back on top, put the hive back together for them, and then I'm going to put something called a queen excluder on the top of these 2 boxes. Now this is like a screen that allows the worker bees to move through and come up into these top boxes to put nectar and pollen in, but the queen is a little bigger, so she can't crawl through that mesh and lay eggs up there, which means that we'll be able to separate out the honey without having larvae and brood in the way of our honey harvest this fall. So I put the queen excluder on, and then I will put 2 honey supers on top of the queen excluder. And the honey supers are a little bit shorter because these will be loaded up with nectar, and we don't want them to be so heavy that we're not able to easily take them off and spin the honey out of them this fall. So if all goes well, these 2 boxes will both be filled with nectar and then dried out to the concentration that they need to be honey. The bees will cap it with wax, and then we'll be able to add a couple more boxes, and hopefully we'll get 4 or 5 of these honey supers filled with honey that we can harvest this fall. So good luck, bees, keep doing your work, and go find some nectar to bring back for us. Until next time, thank you for watching.